Carl Icahn not just becoming an activist investor in his 80s, but an animal activist as well. And that is continuing, Brian Sozzi, with a new campaign that he has embarked upon, this one having to do with Kroger.
Yeah, I would say this is a contentious campaign right out of the gate here. Just reading Carl Icahn's letter on his own site, really taking a lot of swipes at Kroger for a couple reasons. First up, he is concerned, or just outright just doesn't like how much pay Rodney McMullen, the CEO of Kroger, is in fact making. So that's one of his concerns. The next is he's also concerned about Kroger's ESG efforts, really focused in on how Kroger works within its supply chain, notably on how it cares for pigs. Now, this is an issue near and dear to Carl Icahn's heart. He brought forth a similar campaign to McDonald's a couple weeks ago. That is, in fact, ongoing. And amidst all of these concerns, Julie, he has nominated 2 members to Kroger's board of directors. But let's start on the pay here. Here's what Carl Icahn said in his letter to Kroger's CEO, Rodney McMullen, and that board. He said, quote, "Even in a hard-nosed capitalistic system like ours, it is obscene that a CEO makes 900 times what workers earn. It is truly difficult to point to anything comparable, even when considering the grave injustices in the early days of the Industrial Revolution. At Kroger, amazingly, it will take an average worker 20 years to make what the CEO earns in 1 week. In my 40 years of being an activist, I have never seen anything like this." Now, of course, Julie, Kroger is out here with a sponsor of its own, which interestingly does not mention anything about the pay of CEO Rodney McMullen, just focusing in here on some of its ESG efforts. Kroger is essentially saying that they take these issues seriously. They are looking into them, and they're also potentially considering the 2 members he put forth on the board. But let's end here, Julie. Let's look at Rodney McMullen's pay here, because he is one of the highest paid CEOs in the entire, really just corporate America. Look at that pay. This comes compliments of the company's proxy statement. This guy pulled in $22.3 million in total compensation during a pandemic in 2020 and 2019, close to $22 million. 2018, $12 million. Now, Kroger, a lot of these compensations come in part because of options he's given, but still, this is a massive, massive paycheck for an executive that is running a company where essentially workers are only making $15 to $17 an hour if you're working in stores. So I see Carl Icahn's point. He makes a very good point here. Something clearly has to be done here, because something like this can't continue. Now, I suspect McMullen will have earned similar type of wages last year. We're just waiting on that Kroger proxy. That is likely to come in a few weeks.
You know, I was curious, since we're talking about that, what Carl Icahn's net worth is, right? I mean, and, you know, this is also a discussion about what value you have created for shareholders. I think Icahn would certainly argue he's created quite a lot of value for shareholders. I'm seeing one estimate on his net worth at about $16 billion, but he has also, to be fair, signed the Giving Pledge, the Gates Foundation Giving Pledge. So for what that's worth as well, he's given and plans to give a lot of his wealth away.
I'll just add, too, Julie, real quick. Kroger's performance hasn't exactly been sterling. If you look at the stock chart pre-pandemic, I mean, the stock was essentially flat under the leadership of Rodney McMullen. Operating margins pre-pandemic, largely flat. Of course, they're fluctuating, but still, to pull in these type of paychecks, given the performance of the company, it's completely out of whack. Now, there's also Icahn taking to task that Kroger pulled back on what Kroger was giving out in terms of a hero bonus, paying $2 more per an hour. It's not a good look. Kroger could be doing more, and they probably will have to do more.